Oh, an oddball question. Better
Sure.
chest hair, Lee Majors or Gil Gerard?
Oh, that's a tough one. Chest hair.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think either of them had chest hair.
Oh, that's so wrong because I just did a Pamela Hensley marathon today, and it's nothing but Gil Gerard and Lee Majors chest hair. So,
I
all
remember
right.
seeing Ron Ely's chest hair because of what he
I,
was wearing.
wow, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
picked that. I wouldn't
yeah.
have picked that.
There you go.
That's a great insight. See, this is what we should have in a book. My guest today is a talented performer who has had memorable roles in such iconic projects as The $6 Million Man, Doc Savage, and of course, she played Princess Ardala in Buck Rogers. Time to check in with Pamela Hensley. Pamela, welcome to Comic Book Central.
Thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
Great to have you here. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. Look, here's the thing. Before we get to Buck Rogers, Universal Studios, before we get to Jungle Action with Ron Ely, I want to go back just a little bit further, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Born in Glendale and then grew up in Los Angeles.
Burbank, actually.
Burbank. Born
Yep.
in Burbank.
Yep. My
Okay,
dad.
I'm gonna make. I'm gonna. This is where Match Game was filmed, right?
Well, I'm not sure, but you got
That-
you've got a lot of stuff going on in Burbank.
That's my connection to Burbank is Match Game.
Oh, that's funny.
So. Okay, so born in Burbank, grew up in Los Angeles. Okay, so
Yeah.
take me back to that era. What are we looking at there?
Well, that era would have been, my dad was a veterinarian and his practice was in Burbank. And I went to, a little school called Campbell Hall in the San Fernando Valley on Laurel Canyon, and then spent a couple of years in school in England and at Signet's house, then came back to Los Angeles and basically was very fortunate to get an agent named Jack Gilardi.
That sounds familiar.
Jack Gilardi, yes, he was CAA, probably before your time, Joe.
He probably represented everyone and everything I've loved, so that's probably why it sounds familiar.
He was wonderful. He was married to a wonderful actress named Annette Funicello. Do you
Mm,
remember though the
that's why I
yes,
know. Okay, now it's
yes,
all coming together. Mickey Mouse Club Mickey Mouse
yeah,
Club, and then like
exactly.
every beach movie, right? Like
That's
every
right.
her and Frankie.
That's right. Boy, are we dating ourselves? Yes, absolutely.
I'm old. Here's the thing. I make no bones about this. Anybody listening to this podcast knows I'm old and I love everything of that era. So it's just like
Yeah,
you're taking me back to the sweet spot.
yeah, 50s and 60s were great.
Love it. That's okay. So that's your agent, but mom was an actress, right? Like she was in New
My
York and
mom
then,
had been. She had been an
right.
actress briefly before she met my dad and then gave up her career, which is exactly
Okay.
what I did actually. But yes, her name was Gail Kent, and she was at the Studio Club with a whole bunch of very famous actresses, actually, one of whom was Marilyn Monroe. And
You led me right into it. Was Marilyn Monroe your mom's roommate?
I don't know if they shared the same room, but she was
Okay.
one of the young girls in the Studio Club at that time, and she was the only
Wow.
one who had a car. And according to my mom, she was such a sweetheart. She would drive people to their appointments, to their interviews, to their tests, to their screen tests, to their
All their auditions.
yes,
She was the Uber. She was the
that
original
was
Uber for everybody.
yes, interesting. Yes.
Wow. At
Yeah.
what point in your life did you realize your childhood might have been a little bit different than everybody else's, or was it? Maybe all your friends had movie stars as their mom's roommate. I have no
Well,
idea.
my mom really wasn't a movie star, and I didn't really grow up in an environment where I felt that she was, but she was a bit of a star in that she was a beautiful woman. And I remember her coming to an event at the school in the auditorium. It had something to do with athletics, and my mom showed up, and she did get people's attention, so that they thought that she might have been a star. She was just a
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful woman, and
Yeah.
but other than that, I must tell you, I didn't really feel that I didn't lead a Hollywood childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to tell because in that environment, it's like, were you just surrounded by, because wasn't she in a movie like with Heston and like a bunch of, like, didn't she have small roles in like films with like super duper stars?
She had a small role in a film with Burt Lancaster and
Burt Lancaster. Okay.
yes. Um,
Okay.
very small part, and she probably had she herself said that she was a bit lazy. And I think when
Okay.
she met my dad, that just sort of wrapped it up for her. And
Okay.
so I had a relatively normal childhood, in fact.
That's good. But you did say you went to London. So like that feels like that. So you went to study acting, correct? There.
Yes, I was taking classes at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. Uh,
Okay. At what point did it become like, um, oh, there's this stuff going on, but there's this Hollywoody stuff going on, and then, oh, I want to do this for a living. Do you
you
remember?
know,
Was there a demarcation?
when I was still in California in high school, I had a small part in a play, Thornton Wilder, I think, and that did it. The night the play opened at the school, and I came out onto the stage and did my little part, I was hooked. That was it. I
Right.
remember saying to my mom that night, "This is what I want to do." It was that
Okay.
fast, that simple. It wasn't really, it hadn't been encouraged, but it was probably in the DNA, Joe. So,
That I mean, I've been doing this for a while. I've got so many actors and actresses I've talked to, and they're like, you know what? The first time I stepped on stage and I got that feedback from the audience, and it was like boom. And it's that is such a powerful emotion, I think, at that point. And you and many, many others. Was it just that sort of like I'm saying something and they're reacting to it positively? Boom.
definitely. Definitely.
Wow.
What's better than an audience reaction? It's self-serving, it feeds the ego. Everybody wants that, likes that. At least 99.8% of the people I know like that. So
Oh,
no matter what their profession. So
okay.
it's approval, it's validation, it's whatever you want to call it. And
Right.
yeah.
Boy, this just play. I'm thinking of. I'm going to get to Buck Rogers, but I'm just thinking of Ardala, and I'm like, wow, that just plays into that, feeds into that character so hard right there. We'll
Oh
get
yeah.
to that.
Okay.
Okay, for listeners not familiar with the universal contract system, I did talk about this with Aaron Gray at one point, and others that were in that universe. That's such a that's so of that era. For
Yep.
people now, everything's changed, obviously. But can you just describe to listeners, like maybe what that universal contract system was and how you understood it at the time,
Well,
and
first of
maybe
all,
how you look back on it?
yeah, it was fabulous
Right,
because a lot of young people want to be in Hollywood, they want to be in movies, they want to be in television, and they come from all different parts of the world, and they're battling not only the masses and the multitudes of people who also want to do the same thing, but they have no protection whatsoever. And under the last contract system, which was that universal system, there weren't any other studios to my knowledge, doing contracts at that point
right,
with actresses. You had the protection of a brilliant woman and a very powerful talent agent named Monique James. And she and Lou Wasserman and Sid Sheinberg's were your heroes. And you would see them wandering around the lot. I mean, it was all very familiar. You'd sit down in the commissary to grab a bite of lunch, and everybody would be there. And you'd see Alfred Hitchcock sitting there having his
wow,
coffee, and you'd see Jimmy Garner and Tom Selleck and all. You'd see everyone.
yeah,
It was kind of a family. It was
yeah.
marvelous. And you were paid a very small salary, but you were put to work immediately and you worked constantly. And
Give
so
us an idea. Was it like, because I've heard like maybe $600 a week, or maybe is
I
that
think
about right?
that might have been paid to somebody, but it wasn't paid to me. All right. So I think maybe
Sorry if
let's say
maybe that
generously,
was Aaron Gray. That might have been Aaron Gray.
Aaron might have absolutely, but
Gil, maybe Gil.
or maybe Gil, you bet.
Oh,
But as I
wow,
recall, it was like $250 a week, and you saved your,
wow.
but it was a check. And the beauty
Right,
of it, for people who love to work, and I love to work, was that you were being paid to do something really fun. It was hard
right.
work, but it was fun. And I think that was the best part.
regular work too, because you're going from, I mean, you look at the resume, it's insane. Anybody that checks out your IMDb page, I mean, what were some of the shows? I mean, just bing, bang, boom them off for
Oh,
us.
well, I
Like,
would have to say, my memory's not the best, but I would say there was a series called Banachek with George Part.
yeah.
I think that was the first part I ever had in
Oh,
television.
wow.
Tiny little part. He was wonderful. Uh,
Yeah.
Kojak. Do you remember Kojak? Telly Savalas.
Love Kojak. Love
Uh,
Kojak.
and shows like Name of the Game. I think that was R.J. Wagner.
Yeah.
There was, as you know, $6 Million Man and
Yeah.
Beretta and Rockford Files. I mean, this is just to name
Right.
a few.
Yeah, it's just boom, boom, boom because they're cranking out
Yeah.
shows. They're cranking out 25, 30 episodes a season. Not like now, six and eight, but
Oh no.
yeah, they're cranking out tons. So they've got you going, and you make a
Yep.
big appearance on an episode. Hey, you might get a series like Buck Rogers or Matt Houston out of it. I mean, it's just
Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely. It never stopped, and the actors were wonderful, and the whole setup was wonderful. There was
yeah,
an intimacy about it. The dressing
yeah,
rooms and the makeup department, where you'd see Edith Head strolling around occasionally, and the famous Edith Head couture, and all of the Farrah Fawcett, and everybody
yeah.
was around. Everybody knew everybody. It was fantastic. So
They should make a movie of that, or so,
they
maybe they
should.
have. If I'm missing of it, but like it would just seem like that would be. Oh, you know, it'd be cool. Like if they did like an eight part series or something like on the uni.
Joe, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Okay,
You
you and me. I'll only take 10%.
screenplay.
That's
Do you know how to write a screenplay?
I can learn quick. I'm a quick study.
Good. Because
Let's do
it
it.
is actually that would be a great series.
That
The
would be
problem
great.
is I don't know how many people, young people who watch Netflix or watch,
Right.
all the different apps, know who these actors were or what those series were, what they.
Yeah.
It was such
But
a different world at the time.
I think the stories that would come out of that, the behind the scenes stories that we don't know of
Yeah.
all those things, like people like you could like feed that beast, and it's like all this anyway. I digress. Well, we'll talk off camera. Yeah,
Don't
we'll talk
talk,
off
Joe.
we'll talk off mic.
My agent will talk to
My
your agent.
my people
Exactly.
love it, love it. Look, I got to get to superhero stuff, but before we chat about superheroes and iconic sci-fi, I got to jump to a point a little bit later in your acting career. You mentioned like not unlike your mom, you had got kind of got out early, but kind of like right before that. One of my favorites of all time, and I'm unabashedly a huge fan of The Love Boat. Um,
Oh,
I can't talk to Pamela Hensley without talking about The Love Boat. If anybody stepped on The Love Boat, I got to talk to him. And I think you've got so many two-parters. Like you got like a 6 mil two-parter. You got a Buck Rogers two-parter. Like you got so many two-parters. But this was like, did you go to Hong Kong? Like I know
yes.
they shot on like you were there.
Yes.
Like a lot of that stuff's in studio, right? But
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
yours.
Well, no. A lot of that, well, some of it was shot on at the
Like part
studio.
one, like
And
you guys are all getting there and you're like in the Lido lounge and all that. Yeah, part
yeah,
one.
Warner
Once you
Hollywood.
get to part two, you're there, man.
Oh, yes. And that particular episode was shot in Hong Kong in the
Love it.
spring. I have never in my life experienced humidity like that, nor do I ever hope to again. Because
Oh, that explains. Your hair is a little frizzier.
you think?
I think, yeah, because I watch a lot of Buck Rogers and a lot. I watched Doc Savage, and I'm like, oh, on the Love Boat, she had a bigger '80s hair in that one. That might have been the Hong Kong humidity.
Yeah, it was,
Nice.
but
Okay.
it was shot there. There were probably a couple of scenes shot back at the studio. Those of us
Yeah.
who survived the return trip to United States. But yeah, that was one of the things that because I had been cast in Matt Houston, there was a requirement to do several different shows for Spelling Television at that time.
Oh,
And
okay.
all the actors who worked for Duke, Vincent and Erin Spelling, had to do a couple of their other shows as well if they were
Okay.
doing
Had to. Come on, it's a Love Boat.
absolute.
Yeah.
Well,
Please tell me you had a blast.
it was great. It was such fun.
Okay.
It was such fun.
That's. I mean, here's the thing: Donna Reed, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.,
Yes.
and I don't know if you got to meet him, but Gene Kelly's on the set too.
I did meet Gene Kelly, but I got to sit with and have lunch with many times Donna Reed.
Oh,
Was a beautiful woman and had been, as you know, a huge star. Uh,
yeah.
so I was fascinated with her and really liked her. She was lovely.
It's such an iconic episode. Like
Um,
you got, I think it's this. It's either the premiere or the finale, one or the other. I can't even remember now. I just watched it, but it was so cool. Okay, that's. I had to jump back and ask you about the Love Boat. Okay, that's out of the way. I've got, I've got my Love Boat fandom out of the way.
yeah,
Um, was your first feature credit? I know 75 was a very good year because you had Doc Savage and you had Rollerball, but was
yes.
your first screen credit because it says introducing Pamela Hensley? Was that Doc Savage?
That would have been Doc Savage. Absolutely.
Okay. So
Yes.
did you shoot Doc Savage first, or did you? Because it's right there in the same era, and I see
Doc,
Rollerball in the credits first, but like, which one did you shoot first?
I believe Doc Savage, the studio loaned me out to Warner
Hmm.
Brothers to shoot Doc Savage.
Right,
And it,
because you're under Universal, and so right.
yes.
So for people listening,
So
they had to loan you out to another studio.
correct. If another
Okay.
studio wanted you in their film, they would arrange to loan you out, which makes
Right.
sense. Yeah. That would have been the
So you,
first. And then
so you were
Rollerball.
just crushing it on TV, and they're like, "Yeah, we got to get her for this movie."
I guess I remember going and interviewing for the part of the American Indian girl, and
Hmm.
Ely and a whole bunch of people were in the room, and I got the part. And it was a wonderful, fun thing to shoot. I think it was Michael Anderson Jr., who was the director, who was the
Yeah.
delight. And it was an easy shoot, a fun shoot. Ron Ely was an absolute doll. Everybody loved him,
Yes.
and great big handsome gentle lovely man. uh and then Rollerball was Norman Jewison's movie with Jimmy
Yeah.
Caan, as you recall, and that was shot in London and Pinewood Studios, and that was
Oh.
it was
Oh, well, they shot all the Bond films.
exactly.
They shoot all the Bond films there, right?
That's right. You got
Hmm.
that right. Good for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how, okay, so TV actress, I mean, you're on the big screen with Ron Ely. It's so great to know that he was such a cool guy. I wanted to have him on the show. He wouldn't do an interview, but he did
Oh,
talk to me for
really?
like 30, talked to me for like 30 minutes on the phone and told me the most insane stories. And I'm like, oh my goodness, can we please record any of that? I know it was just, he seemed like
Oh,
such an amazing man.
he was.
Um, that so they shot that in California, right? Like you weren't out
Yes.
in the yeah, okay.
Yeah. Worse.
Did you know anything about like did they give you any the books or you're just like I'm on Columbo or I can't remember all the shows. I'm on 6 Mil one week, I'm on this. Are you just like cranking everything out? You didn't really get the chance to dig into the lore of Doc
I
Savage.
did not have a chance to dig into the lore. I'm
Okay.
not even sure that at that point in time I was aware of lore, but I, uh,
Fair. Fair.
yeah, but it wasn't a situation where you would go shoot it, part of the film over several days, and then the next several days you'd be shooting television. One thing was done at a time, so it wasn't
Okay.
all that chaotic or crazy. But I was working constantly. I would finish one project and then begin another.
But
Um,
you knew this was a feature film. Like this was something different.
yep, absolutely.
Did it feel like it? Because I know in that era, you hardcore camp. I mean, it's like there's the Batman TV show, which was a movie. There's like Barbarella, with Jane Fonda. It's like,
Oh yeah.
did you get a sense of camp? I mean, when you watch it, he's got a twinkle in his eye, and there's like the wacky sound effect. Did you know when you were shooting it how campy it would be, or did that not come
Yes.
across? Okay,
No, there was a sense. There was the knowledge just based on the sets and the way,
yeah,
and even our makeup and the way we looked and the way we dressed. There was a campiness to all this, but that was what made it. It was kind of a delight because there are parts that one gets over at certain periods of time that require a tremendous amount of emotion, and it's exhausting. This
yeah.
was never exhausting. This was always just fun.
This was bug nuts
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
I mean, anybody watches the movie. Have you seen it? Like, did you ever see the
I
film?
I did, but I haven't seen it in ages and ages
Right.
since it was shot. No.
Because there's no way, even if you're reading the script and you see how campy it is
Yeah.
on the page, there's
Uh-huh.
no way you can get a sense of that until you see it. When you first saw, like, when did you first see it, and how did you first see it, and what did you think of it?
Well, as I recall, I first saw it at a little screening that they had for us. And I
Okay.
remember thinking, this is pretty campy. But liking it because it somehow kind of worked. Uh,
Yeah,
Buck Rogers was very campy, to say the least.
it
At
was.
least the feature film of it was way over the top, but also
Yeah,
great fun.
yeah,
And what you have to do when you're doing something that campy is not think of it as campy, but just think of the character as who the character is. And it
that's it.
turns out that it's just flat out camp. Um,
Yeah,
Ardala was wild.
yeah.
Very much fun to do, and she had a whole attitude. It wasn't me, but it was an attitude that I adapted and adopted for that character. So that's what you do at any given moment in time, because that's what you're being paid to do. You're being paid to act.
No, brilliant, because I think even Adam West talked about this, and Burt Ward was like, you play it straight.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
the key. Yeah, you
That's
lock
it.
in and you play. Did you learn that somewhere, like in London? Like, because I guess there's a way to just go bug nuts crazy with it, and then there's a way to play it straight down the middle, which
Yeah.
enhances the comedy, I think.
Oh, sure.
Did
No,
you learn that somewhere, or
I
did you
don't
just get a
think
vibe?
I think you get a vibe. I think you get into the character
Yeah.
and enjoy the character, but I don't think that you can be taught to enjoy the character. You either
Okay.
do or you don't. And if you don't enjoy the character, you shouldn't be playing the character.
Fair.
Yeah.
The end of the film announces a sequel, Doc Savage, the arch enemy of evil. Did you ever shoot anything for that? There's a myth that there's like footage that was shot, and Ely was like, "Nope, we didn't shoot anything." Like, did you ever shoot anything for a sequel?
Not that I recall. No.
Okay,
In fact, I'm
all
pretty sure
right,
we didn't. No.
all right. Did you
I
know
looked
about a sequel? Did they talk about it?
Uh, there might have been talk before we finished shooting the movie about the possibility of a sequel, but as far as I knew, just it just never came together for whatever reason.
Okay, you
Yeah,
mentioned
and
Rollerball. I
I
got to
could be,
ask.
by the
Oh,
way, Joe, I could be totally wrong. There could be a sequel out there, but I'm
I
completely
don't think that. I think there was a
unaware of one.
story. I think there was a script. I don't think they.
All right,
I got a sense they didn't film anything,
all
but there's
right.
always this myth out there that you guys filmed something. So I just wanted to tap into
Something
your
that
memory
wasn't released.
system.
Yeah, no, not I would say if there was, and
You'd remember
frankly,
hanging out in the jungle with Ron Ely, right?
I think I might remember that. Uh-huh.
I certainly would. That's for sure.
You bet.
Favorite memories from Rollerball? I mean, that film I think was so ahead of its time. Set in the far-flung world of 2018.
2018, right?
Oh,
It
this
was
is insane.
cold. I remember it being bloody cold. All of us were sick, including Norman Jewison, who was sniffling and coughing, and everybody was because we were
Yeah.
uh, outside of the Pinewood Studios in an area, I don't know, about 30 miles out of London, and it was open fields where they built this huge thing, this huge set, and it was just bloody
Oh.
freezing.
Is that a lot of the scenes when you're out like shooting at trees and stuff or something? If I'm
Yep,
trying to remember, okay. And
yep,
you're like shooting a gun. It looks like a gun, but it's like a laser gun. It's like blowing up trees and stuff.
exactly.
All
Yes.
right. We don't have those in 2018. We never got those.
No, somehow we didn't.
We don't have
Pity.
flying cars, flying
No,
cars either.
you
I'm getting to Buck Rogers. I swear to you, I'm getting there. Six
yeah,
mil.
sure.
6 mil, right? Fan
Oh,
of the
listen.
series?
Yes. Lee Majors, another terrific guy to work with. Everybody liked him. Not a prima donna. Showed up on time. Great guy. The only thing I actually remember, though, other than that, about shooting that particular show was the fact that it was probably the first and only time I ever was dropped into a tank of water with scuba gear. And they actually shot a couple of minutes underwater, and
Okay.
I haven't done it since. Nor
You
will I.
tapped right into it. We're
Yeah,
going to jump ahead to season 5. You have a season 4 episode I want to get to, but you have a season 5 episode, Sharks. That's obvious the one you're.
that's got to be the one.
There's a lot of close-ups of you in a tank. It's obviously in a tank. It's obviously shot at Universal. Did you get to go out in the ocean at all?
No.
Okay. Because
And
there's a shot of you and Lee and Stephen Elliott in the water. Was that just like right outside in a like at a
I,
SeaWorld or something?
probably.
Okay.
But out in the ocean, no. Going out in a boat to go out into the ocean to shoot,
Yeah.
no. Uh,
Okay.
any of the underwater stuff was a tank on one of the sound stages there at Universal.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Again, season five kicking off the season two-parter. We got to get Pamela Hensley, and it's like that. Did you know it was like for the season five premiere, and it's a two-part? Like, do you guys and it's a 2 hour.
Mhm.
Did it show theatrically anywhere?
Probably did not show theatrically.
Okay,
Any
there's a movie poster just called Sharks, starring
Oh,
Lee Majors and Pamela Hensley.
really? And
And
the movie
yeah, the
post?
tagline is "You are gripped again by horrifying shark terror."
I love it. I'm
Did you
sorry,
get
I
any
don't.
residuals from sharks?
I actually kind of like sharks, but the fact of the matter is, I'm surprised to hear that there's a movie poster.
There
Um,
is a legit movie poster. I think they did it so in case they did release it theatrically.
well, maybe they did, but I'm not aware of
Mm.
that.
Well,
Um,
you might want to call
Once
your
again,
agent.
I'm sorry to be so misinformed or uninformed.
You might have more residuals coming to you.
I may.
That was so you got to work with Lee directly on that one. That was
Yeah,
so he's a cool cat.
really cool. Yes, absolutely.
Uh,
Great guy.
the season four episode you played Jenny in The Ultimate Imposter. You and Steven mocked,
Stephen mocked. Yes.
mocked. Okay.
Yeah.
Any this was a backdoor pilot.
Mhm.
I think they were trying to launch you guys into a series. Did you have any sense of that at the time,
I
or are you
think
just
I think
crushing episodes?
I just was doing episodes. This was another one, but I think there were plans for Mocked to do a series.
You got to have Jenny in it. Jenny was the girlfriend. Like you wouldn't have
Well,
followed Steven over to that?
I don't remember. Possibly, it's
All
possible
right.
that they did this pilot and that it simply didn't click.
All
Um,
right.
but
Didn't
I
click.
know that Mock was very hot. Stephen Mocked at that point in time out at Universal.
He
Hot,
was. It
really a
became a
hot
TV
actor,
movie. It became a TV movie 2 years later, The Ultimate Imposter.
right?
Did anybody reach out to you about the movie? Not, nope.
Nope, nope.
All right. Kim Basinger's in that episode. Did you meet Kim Basinger?
I did not. Not that I
Oh.
recall, but I do
It
remember seeing her around the lot.
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It's such a cool episode, and then it's like it gets lost to time. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Um, all right, you ready for Buck Rogers?
Sure.
All right. As we're recording this, obviously sad news. A month ago, we got the sad news. A month ago, as we're recording this, the Buck himself, Gil Gerard, passed away. I never
Yes.
had the honor of having him as a guest on the show. Not for lack of trying.
Really?
Not
Oh,
for lack of trying. I don't think Gil did too many interviews, but what what do we need to know about Gil? He seemed like Lee Majors like a pretty cool cat.
oh, he was a beauty. He was
Yeah.
a beauty, and he was so funny. He's one of the naturally funny people. Great sense of humor, handsome. At the time that I met Gil when we were shooting the film for Glenn Larson, he was married to a beautiful girl, Connie Selica, beautiful actress.
Uh, from the Greatest
Gorgeous.
American Hero.
And they were a gorgeous couple.
Yeah.
Um, I have nothing but good memories of Gil. He was another one who was very professional about work and not a prima donna. He was always the first to arrive on the set. He was nice to people, which belied his handsomeness. You usually think of a handsome young actor as being a bit of a cat. He wasn't. He was very
Yeah.
dear. He would stand off sides for people to do lines. He was terrific. And so I was so surprised to hear that he passed because he was
Yeah.
so vital that you don't think of, and still relatively young, and I just it surprised me. But the good
Yeah.
news is that apparently he found the love of his life. They'd been married for a long time. He and Connie had divorced long, long ago, and he met this wonderful woman, and she adored him, and he had a good life, and had a peaceful passing, as I understand.
Yeah, it was so fast, and I was kind of surprised to hear it too.
Yes.
He seemed like a goofball. He seemed like
He was funny.
The character
Yeah.
Buck, I think, especially when he does the clones, when he's
Uh-huh.
doing all the different clones, I mean, he gets to really do the goofball stuff. But that played so into the character, and I think he and Connie were always like playing pranks from stories I've heard. Um,
Yes.
do you have any like Gil Gerard, Connie Selleck prank stories?
I don't. I wish I'd known them well enough to
Okay.
be aware of those. I'm sure there are people who do, however.
You're only in 4 episodes. That's fair. I get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. They seem like you. Oh, an oddball question. Better
Sure.
chest hair, Lee Majors or Gil Gerard?
Oh, that's a tough one. Chest hair.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think either of them had chest hair.
Oh, that's so wrong because I just did a Pamela Hensley marathon today, and it's nothing but Gil Gerard and Lee Majors chest hair. So,
That's
so the
hysterical.
only thing that could distract me from the loveliness is Pamela Hensley would be your leading man's chest hair, or maybe Lee
No,
Horsley.
I
I have no
never
idea.
even got to see their chest hair
That's a
because
lie.
the
That's a
costume
dirty lie. I've seen.
totally a lie. Totally a lie, but that's beside the point. No, I really, in fact, did not get to see chest hair. I
All
remember
right.
seeing Ron Ely's chest hair because of what he
I,
was wearing. But
oh, I thought he was like.
tight suit.
See, I'm assuming he's shaved, like he's the man of bronze.
Well,
Oh,
I would have to say
okay.
that Ely would have been the chest hair guy.
Wow, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
picked that. I wouldn't
yeah,
have picked that. That's a
yeah,
great insight. See, this is what we should have in a book.
yeah.
Okay, so
This is the
when you
important
first
stuff.
read the script for Buck Rogers, how did you decide where Ardala's evil ends and her charm begins? Because you walk that tightrope beautifully.
In my head, for some reason, when I read the script and met Jean-Pierre Dorliac, who was doing
Oh, the costumes,
the
yeah.
costumes were a huge part of her personality. And I remember thinking that she was sort of drag queenish. And I felt serious, weird, right? Uh, and that she was a character named Maynard. And she had this attitude that had a sort of physicality about it in the way that she moved and walked because it complemented the costume,
Yeah,
which Jean-Pierre Dorliac did so brilliantly. This was a tremendously talented guy. Um, I mean, there were people coming into those wardrobe areas to look at his work. He was an amazing talent. So,
yeah,
uh, the makeup, the extreme makeup, eye makeup,
yes.
the big hair and the
Hmm.
attitude and the posture of her shoulders and the everything was very exaggerated. Uh,
Yeah,
so that's what I had in my head, from whence it came, probably just a combination of things. My mom had been involved with the fashion industry for many years, so I got to meet a lot of people who did design, who did clothing, who were fashioned. And so all of this came together in my head as a very vampy, campy character. Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
It totally fit into that because he's coming right out of Somewhere in Time, I think, too, with Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve, a period
Oh,
piece
yeah.
right into like way back to way in the future. So there's the genius of Jean Pierre.
Oh, yes.
They did they take a plaster cast of your body?
No,
I
no.
read that
No, it's not
that
true.
they that okay, that's not
Yeah,
true.
they
That
may have
they
created some kind of a plaster cast post post movie
okay.
because
So
I
nothing like that for the form fitting because your costumes I mean, the only thing I can say to people who haven't seen it, you got to watch it.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
insane,
quite it's insane, absolutely true.
but no plaster casts of your.
No, no real plaster cast of the body. Of course, I could have forgotten about that, and there may have been.
That's okay. No, I'm going back through the Miss of
All
Time
right,
too because I know
but
there's stories out there about like just even for the feature film how revealing these were like even for a feature film, but then for television. I
yeah,
mean, I talked to Erin about the spandex, And she's always talking
Yes,
about like how like it was just so like they couldn't even breathe in these things.
I'm
You went
sure.
different way. You didn't have the spandex, I don't think, until your last episode.
No,
Yours were very different.
they were different, they were fun, and they were hinged very carefully on one person. Um, and in fact, I couldn't sit down in these costumes.
This is kind of what I'm referring to.
They did have just for me. It was really very sweet of them. A slant board. You know what that is, right?
I think Erin had one too. If I remember, if I read the stories correct, I think she had one too because of the
Yeah,
tightness of the
it might have been
spandex.
too
Yeah.
hard to sit, and you didn't want to
Yes.
wrinkle spandex, right? But the slant board thing was funny. It was hysterical because they wheeled these mothers onto the set. You'd step onto it,
Oh.
rest your feet against the base that had
Oh.
a little step, and you could lean back and relax yourself, but you couldn't really sit down. But leaning back,
Right.
almost standing straight up, but leaning backwards, you could adjust the slant board so that the clothes and the beading and the points where everything rested were unmoved and
Okay.
yeah,
We can make the actresses uncomfortable. We can't screw around with a costume.
correctamundo.
How did they pitch this to you? Did you, when you were shooting the pilot, did you know this was also going to be a feature film?
Um, this was shot as a feature film first. This was a movie
Yeah, I think it came in.
released as a
If I remember the history, it was we're going to do a TV show. We're coming out of Battlestar Galactica, and Larson was like, "Hey, wait a minute!
Mhm,
Battlestar became a movie. We took the Battlestar pilot and re-edited it in a movie. What if we did this
mhm.
as a feature and then dropped it a couple months
As
later
a
on
series.
NBC?"
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I did. It was done as a feature. It really wasn't a
Got
pilot.
it.
And then
Okay.
it was done as a series, as you know, that lasted several seasons. I was only in the first season.
Yeah. Right. I know. Unfortunately, I'm going to get to that, but yeah, that's ridiculous. But go ahead. But you shot that knowing this is a feature film.
Yes.
Did you shoot stuff for TV? Like, did they, okay, cut, and here's the TV version?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just curious about that. Um, did you ever go to wardrobe or props and give any feedback to them as to like, hey, what if we did this with Ardala, or what if we did this with a costume? Just kind of bringing that Queen of Space Empress energy into it.
No. Because to be honest with you, if Jean Pierre, who was doing all the fittings, obviously,
Yeah.
uh, said, "What do you think about this?" I would either like something or not like something. Because you try to look at yourself objectively, which is not always easy to do, but you have to say,
Yeah.
look, I really don't have the kind of body that's going to look good in that kind of a thing because my boobs aren't big enough. So we better try to figure out how to make this. You know what I mean?
I do not, as you're describing it. I'll take your word for
Well,
it.
you can take my word for it. You kind of have to try to say, look, what
Uh,
actually looks, what is the illusion that we're
yeah.
creating here? And
Yeah, you're talking to somebody who was like 12 when they were watching this as a kid. So
okay.
I'm having a hard time believing Pamela Hensley said no to anything at that point with
Well, no,
costumes.
I mean, I worked very well with Jean Pierre. Pierre, he was fantastic.
Okay.
He himself would say, "You're right. Let's do this or let's do," and I felt perfectly comfortable. But I would never take it upon myself to suggest how to design something. I don't have the talent or the brains or the nor the
Okay. I
but
didn't know if like when you got on set, like once that costume took over, was there because you did a couple other appearances. I didn't know if you had kind of brought that like, hey, what if we did this later in the
no,
series, I think.
no, I was never someone to lead in something like that. I would follow,
Okay.
particularly if it seemed like a really good idea at the time. Yeah,
Henry Silva played Kane in the film.
yes,
Your sort of counterpart in there, Michael Ansara in the series. Did Silva just not want to do TV at that point?
maybe not. Maybe he didn't.
You never got to ask him about it? Like, hey,
I never,
why?
I, I really didn't even know if there would be a series at that point in time for sure.
Oh,
But he was a nice
okay.
man, very quiet, very soft-spoken, very polite. So was Michael Ansara, who was adorable.
Right.
Yeah, no, but why those changes were made, I have no clue. who makes
Difference, very different character from the movie to the series.
hmm.
Did you sense a difference in the actors that you were playing off of?
I think that anytime you go to a series and you're working on something for television as opposed to feature film, I think that there is probably a different attitude. I'm not sure if you can even explain what it is. I think it's almost, at that time, I think it was almost a thing where you sense that perhaps it wasn't quite as glossy.
Hmm.
Um, because I think that in the 70s, feature films were preferable to television series. Of course, in my mind, television was always preferable to feature films. I remember saying that to somebody once, and they told me to leave the office. Seriously, it was, it was
Well,
an,
it was steadier work, that's for sure.
but was television considered a lesser medium? I think it was at that time, but it ain't that way
Yeah.
anymore, as we know.
Yeah, not till Michael J. Fox in '85 when he flipped the script from Family Ties to Back to the Future. I
There
think
you
people started,
go.
and then it was Bruce Willis a couple years later from Moonlighting to Die Hard, and then yeah, the game changed. But while you guys were doing it, yeah, TV was always sort of the redheaded stepchild to feature films, I think. Um, but
Absolutely. Well
yeah, I
described.
think that even the characters were like, I think Silva almost played him as like Kane. Kane should have been with you.
Mm,
And Ansara, I think, played him, and this might have just been the scripting, was he was like a minion. He was like a subservient to you.
mm.
Whereas Silva felt like he was an equal. Maybe that's the feature film part coming through. I don't know. That's the way I
Interesting.
took
Well,
it.
no, it sounds to me like it's a different character description. It's being
Yeah.
differently, it's being written differently. It's a different series, different than feature. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think your character just really took over in the series. What was the dynamic like between you, Gil Gerard and Erin Gray on set? Did that playful rivalry between Ardala and Wilma Deary. Like, did that ever come into play, or like,
Well,
what
there
was it
was,
like between you all?
oh, I really liked Erin. We would have lunch occasionally. She was a great girl. And no, there was no rivalry at all. I think that was just the rivalry created by the characterizations of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in reality, we would hang out and have lunch when we could, or sit and talk. No, no rivalry.
What
No rivalry.
we talked about the tightrope you walked a lot, and I think it really plays into Escape, the episode Escape from Wedded Bliss. Um, she Ardala literally wants to marry Buck
Mm.
to rule the earth. Like this is like you had talked about before. So it's very Flash Gordon-y, like Ming the Merciless, kind of like so
Mm.
over the top. What was the decision as an actress like to how far to lean into the comedy, how far to lean into just playing it straight like we talked about? Uh, I don't, you just really nailed the balance between that. I'm just curious about that.
If I did nail the balance, because it's hard for me, having removed myself from the industry so completely, I never look at
Yeah.
old movies or TV.
Okay.
I did,
You don't pop the Blu-ray in every now and again.
and you
It's
know what?
like,
I really don't. I know there are people who do and probably enjoy that, reliving or reviewing what they did.
yeah.
To me, there's something vaguely depressing about it. I just feel you've been there, done that. You got to live now
Mm.
in this moment. And
All right.
I, I don't even really particularly enjoy looking at old photographs. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
however, I will say that as far as the series went in those few episodes, whatever I did would have been in line with that character in my head of what Ardala was, and there
Okay.
would not have been any distinguishing on my part between the Ardala in the movie and the Ardala in the series and her relationship to people.
All right.
That
You're
I,
missing some good episodes. You're missing some good episodes. I'm just going to tell you. Uh, your your final episode in the series is called Flight of the War Witch. I mean, do I even have to say her name?
okay.
The great Julie Newmar.
Oh, what a character. Wow.
Okay, so you're Pamela Hensley coming on this set, and there's so many. Look, I've read so much about the making of Buck Rogers. Pat Jankowitz has a great book out. But there's always like Hensley walks onto the set and she's wearing the Ardala costume, and it's like we all like Felix Sela was like, I couldn't believe it, and Gil Gerard's like, I couldn't, eyes popping on my all this stuff. But then Julie Newmar walks onto the set.
Oh, wow.
Dude, what's
No,
the vibe like for there? Do you just be like, okay, I can't. It's Julie
I
Newmar.
was in awe. She was, in my mind, one of the finest dancers I'd ever
Oh
seen,
yeah,
with one of the
yeah,
best pairs of legs I'd ever seen on a dancer.
yeah.
She was also apparently an IQ genius. Did you know that?
I did not know that,
Yeah, IQ genius.
but I would assume that because she's
Uh,
unreal. I've talked to her and she's just, amazing.
Very unusual and amazing woman. And I recall
Okay.
us having one conversation off the sound stage. We were just, bantering after having shot a scene. And she made a comment about having a circle around her that was her boundary, her sense of boundary and security. There was always a circle that she kept around herself mentally. That's the only thing I can recall, but I do remember being just sort of fascinated with her and
Yeah.
in awe of her. She was legendary. Uh,
Yeah.
so to have her on the show was really a coup.
There's a great story. Lee Merriweather, the great Lee Merriweather, told me because she played Catwoman in the film. I think Julie
Yes.
was off filming. What was she filming? I'm going to draw a blank, but I'll think of it when we're done. She couldn't do the movie. But when they're signing, Lee would sign Catwoman, and she said, "Oh no, no." Julie would tell her, "No, no, I'm Catwoman."
Oh, that's
So
funny.
Lee signed my just meow. She's
Oh, how funny.
so protective of her character, and I just like that. I think Julie Newmar earned that.
I agree.
And the scene where you two try to out space vixen each other. Do you have any memories of shooting that scene?
I have no memory of it whatsoever. Isn't that terrible?
Oh, it's so brilliant watching the two of you. She does get Julie Newmar does get the upper hand on Ardala. Like she has her taken away, and I'm like, wow, there's only one. I think one actress on earth that could do that.
Yes,
It was probably Julie Newmar.
you bet. And I and I
Yeah,
I can understand what you're saying. She would be superb
yeah.
at something like that, at the subtleties of it.
Oh,
Interesting. Oh,
the
wow.
two of you. You do owe yourself that scene. Like you should go back and just at the very least owe yourself that and just realize how unbelievable you both were in that. Going toe to toe with Julie Newmar. Look at let's see. Oh, you mentioned this. Like Ardala's season one, you didn't come back for season two.
No, no, no,
Why?
just did those. Well, as I recall, my contract with Universal Studios had been 11 years, and
Right.
I suspect that I might have moved on. I'm not certain of that. I know that I had done a little part in a feature, and then I was sent to read for the part of CJ and Matt Houston, the
That
spelling.
was 83, so you'd have been shooting in 82.
So we started
Okay.
shooting Matt
Wow.
Houston, and that ran 3 seasons. That's where I met my husband, Duke Vincent.
Oh, that's okay. Man,
Yes.
they should have backed up the Brinks truck to your house to bring you back in season two. That is such an error, I think, on because when you watch it, it's like it's such a different thing. I love season two. It's got its weird moments. There's Hawk and all these things, but
Right.
man, it's missing Ardala. Like that was like you were the Blofeld of James Bond. You were the Lex Luthor. You were the like you were it. You were the Ming the Merciless.
But you have
You were the
to
classic
have
villain.
that kind of tension of antagonists, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
in anything you do, you can't just let it drop after the first season. There has to
Yeah.
be a continuing tension and suspension, and something has to create it. But that has
Yeah.
everything to do, once again, with the writing.
Yeah.
Who's doing the scripts? Uh,
Right.
all right. So I frankly never watched the stuff that we did as a series.
Even in the moment, like when they're airing on television, you didn't go like, "Hey, my episode of Buck Rogers is on tonight." And I know that's a fanboy question, but you never did
It's
that.
actually not. It's a fair question. There, most people would watch their stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
like to. I found it strange. I
Mm.
found it uncomfortable. It's almost as if once I left the studio and
Yeah.
the day's work, I just wanted to flick that switch off.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard that Pamela Hensley's a great actress, though. You're missing out on some good. You're missing out on some good stuff.
Oh, you're very.
Um, do you have a favorite line or moment from the show, Buck Rogers? Or
Um,
is like fans come up to you over the years and like, oh, this part was awesome. I mean, mine was the Julie Newmar scene.
um, it's interesting. I had gone on a little film tour at Larson's request. I think Gil
Okay.
Gerard, myself, I think Erin Gray, to Madison, Wisconsin. And they'd set up this huge proscenium in what, as I recall, was sort of a theater, and everyone got up and said a few words. They brought me up last. The audience really obviously had enjoyed that character, and I did not have
You think?
right. I didn't have anything prepared to say, so I said what really was just came off the top of my head to stay in character with Ardala.
Yeah.
What I said into the microphone was, well, and they all, were applauding and cheering.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
little Mae Westish. But
Yeah.
I said, I hope you all enjoyed Buck as much as I. And they laughed and laughed and
Yeah.
laughed and laughed. And what it was, Joe, was that this character did not take itself very seriously,
Right.
but she remained in character
Right.
till the run was over. And so
Yeah.
I think that everybody probably had a different thing to say, a different line that they remember. But I just remember the audience enjoying that comment and my presence, and that I have taken with me all these years, obviously.
It's brilliant. Well, that's that feedback that young
It's once
girl
again,
that on the stage
that's it.
hitting you all those years
Very, very
later.
astute. That's very
Yeah, she
astute.
explodes.
That's very
I think
astute.
I think even like one of your final lines in this that last episode too was I think Gil says something like, "I hope we get to see each other again" or something like that, and you're like, "You can see any side of me anytime you want." I'm just like, she
Mhm.
just doesn't stop. It's like Ardala just doesn't stop. She just
Yeah,
keeps plowing forward,
that's
man. That's
that
great. That's
character.
why she should, yeah, she should have been season two. Great run on Matt Houston, 3 seasons, and you retired from acting.
Yes.
Why'd you mentioned like your mom was like, I'm out. Why? Same? Like, why
Well,
you?
I met the love of my life, and
Ah, good for
it
you.
after that, I mean, I knew instantaneously when I met Duke that this was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with.
All right.
Just one of those incredibly interesting things. You just know. I knew that when Matt Houston ended, that would be it for me because I really wanted to have my life with my husband. I wanted us to have a healthy, rich, full life. And to be honest with you, as wonderful as a career in acting was, as much fun as it was, it it's a tiny, tiny part of who you are and what you do. And I don't know, I just wanted the two of us, Duke and I, to have a foundation. And there was so much to do, so much more to see and do and be in our life together and in our marriage together. So it was not a difficult choice at all. It was the easiest thing I've ever decided. Knew I was going to do that, and that was it. Time was up.
You sound like a very well-adjusted human being. That's
I
that's and
don't know about that, but I mean,
well,
I probably am relatively well adjusted, but it was just how I felt.
no, it's a good headspace to be in. And you get to be a writer too, right? You wrote the cookbook, the Jewish Sicilian cookbook.
Yes, yes. Uh,
Okay,
I wrote a little cookbook. Duke said, you've got to write a cookbook because I love to cook. And
right.
so I took my grandmother's recipes, my mom's recipes, my dad's recipes, and Duke's recipes, and formed
Wow.
that little cookbook. Those are all just family recipes. Uh,
Okay.
I grew up, my mom was a good cook. My dad was a great cook. My grandmother was a wonderful cook. My Duke was I mean, everybody I've
Wow.
ever been around likes to cook. So
I
that was the reason for that. It was a fun project.
I got to get my hands on that. More writing in your future or not? You got some more books in you, like the tell-all of
Well,
Universal Studios.
I think that's a book you should write.
All right, we'll work
I
on it.
do, and I think you
All
could
right.
write it brilliantly. If you
Well,
want any info, I can help you with info. But you can write that book because you seem to be fascinated with all of this
minutia.
memorabilia. Well, but minutia is what makes it so interesting. It's
Yes.
little stuff that's very layered and fascinating and complex that makes this an interesting possible read. Uh,
Yes.
but as far as I'm concerned, I thought at one point that after I wrote the little cookbook, I might do a novel, and I worked on it for a long time. But after COVID, for some reason, I shelved it, and I think I'm too old to go back and pick up the pen again and take a
No,
stab.
you're never too. Nope, you're never too old to do anything that you love, and it sounds like you got the. Maybe I should launch it. I think I've got one chapter already devoted to chest hair.
Yes, well, you know what? I give you kudos for
For
even,
asking the
go-
stupid
for even
questions.
going there. Who would have thought about something like that? I love it.
Only me. Only me.
You're like going
Would
on a
you? Would
level.
you? Would you and Erin Gray? Erin Gray does a bunch of conventions. She's got a bunch of celebrities that she books out to conventions. Would you do
Right?
conventions?
No,
No.
no. I've been asked and I have
Yeah.
respectfully declined.
All
Yes.
right. Well, we
No.
want you there. So, well, I'll put in a request for the world
Oh, you're so
through
cute.
here that we need you there because we need to see Ardala and all these other things. What else is going on now? What you anything coming out or anything we can look forward to, or are you just chilling out?
No, I am just chilling out right now and sorting through things and film at 11, Joe.
Filming
Film at 11.
Blu-ray Blu-ray of Buck Rogers episodes. You're gonna watch a few. At least the Julie Newmar one. Please watch that one.
I
Um,
may have to find that and watch it. You're right.
oh my God, that's one of the most amazing ones. Pamela, thank you for these classic roles, these performances. They have kept so many of us entertained over the years. Thank you for them, and thank you so much for joining me on Comic Book Central.
Oh, Joe, thank you for your kindness. I loved it.